Hello and welcome everybody to episode 4 of The Locker Room. I'm joined alongside by the one and only Zach, Zed, Zedenya. How we doing? How's once again, off-season treating you? What's been happening?
Just the same shit every day, man. Honestly, if I'm going to be honest, I'm pretty addicted to Tarkov at the moment. And because I've got no real responsibilities apart from looking after the guys, I'm going to bed at ridiculous times. But keeping up with the fitness, trying to eat good. I have my driving test coming up, so I can be a chauffeur for the guys. Finally getting that sorted. But yeah, not too bad. What about yourself?
Yeah, no, I just same as always. I'm still on a little bit of the Apex train. I was gonna wake up this morning to watch the OXG guys, play at the World Champs. But a little too early for me, so I think I'll just catch the later heat. A little watch party with some of the guys at Oxygen, in the background, of course. While we sort out some exciting and fun things for the future and for next season. But yeah, lots to be revealed in due time. But yeah, been not a bad off season so far. Ours finished a lot earlier than others. There's been since actually last episode, there's been 2 roster reveals.
Yep. Ones we already knew, but yeah. I'm the type of guy that likes to get my off season done quick. I like to be one of the first teams. I think we've done that last year too. We just like to get shit done fast. Have the pick of the litter kind of thing. What's the point of waiting, right?
Yeah.
You just give yourself more opportunity as a franchise to get fucked over by the players and they go out. So you might as well just lock them in. Probably our best off season so far.
Yeah.
Out of the 3. So
it's always good to lock in certainty, and I think that kind of ties into our topic today. And we're gonna have special guest Eric on later, Snoopy, for all of you big fans out there. And he was our first lock. Actually, he was our certain person that we were pretty convicted on. We're like, hey, this is the guy we're going to build around. Here's the guy that's going to lead our franchise and be, our franchise player. Let's get back to the start of WrestleMania, really. Snoopy was pretty much like a non-negotiable kind of in the transfer season or the trade period, whatever you want to call it. And I wanted to give, you a question straight away. Why were we so convicted in Snoopy, and what does he possess that is highly valued by yourself and the other coaching staff?
Yeah, what I look for in players is a big thing is just attitude. Eric, when people start getting to know Eric, you'll see how mature he is for his age, how he approaches the game. And he comes in the room every day and he's ready to learn, no matter what. And that's something that can be difficult with some players where they just they're coming in like it's a chore. They're giving you problems about repetitive stuff and doing the same thing over and over again. But that's what this is. That's what you signed up for. And Eric just gets on with it, and he pushes me to be a better coach, pushes players to be better teammates, and that's what you're after. And as I've said before, how he performed at Champs as a rookie was just phenomenal. So no doubt in my mind that he deserved a spot on Boston. And just in general, the SMG talent is pretty limited. I feel like the league's very top heavy this year, so I'd rather take a chance on a good kid and someone that has the potential to be incredible, rather than someone that's already kind of shown what they got. So
as you've just said, kind of a lot of players have shown their kind of true colors, and I think one thing that a lot of, coaching and management side don't really see is the kind of characteristics about a person, because you're not in that kind of that wall with them. You don't know too much about their life. But yeah, once again, what we saw from Eric Snoopy was his attitude and his approach and his style and his like kind of demeanor about things while he was at Toronto, and we thought, wow, this guy's got it. And then when we brought him on board, he still had it. And you can look at the gameplay all you want, and that won't give you a true story of how the person operates and what their mindset is. So to be able to get that kind of glimpse into Eric, and then working alongside him with him, I could definitely tell that's kind of why we were like, hey, he's our guy. And I think a lot of other people saw it as well. A lot of people were willing to play with Eric. A lot of people thought, hey, he's next up. So it really became easy for us to make a decision on the back end that, hey, this is the non-negotiable. This is the guy that we want to push forward with. But we have pushed forward with a lot of kind of young gun rookies, and we've given the opportunity to quite a fair few. My question to follow up on that is, how do you approach these players compared to somebody that has like more experience, like methods, and Cap in our first year, and like, do you put themselves in your shoes, like, when you were 18 and there was some growing pains there? How do you approach these younger players?
It's difficult. I mean, every single one of them is different, right? And we've definitely had our fair share of them. For me, it's learning from my mistakes of going through them. The problem with rookies is they're never going to tell you how they're feeling. As a rookie, you don't want to come in and say, "Hey, I'm nervous, I'm scared." But like when it got to Eric, even before we went on the stage at Champs, I said to him, I said, "Bro, you're going to be nervous. Like, it's nervous. You're going to be excited. Like, don't shy away from that, and don't pretend like I don't know, because I've been in your shoes. Enjoy it. Enjoy the moment. Take it all in. And, even when I put the headset on when Eric sat down, I said, Eric, look around, take it all in. Like this is your life now. This is what you do. So go do it to the best of your ability, and have fun doing it." So, for me, it's just using my past experience with rookies and adding that to the new rookies that come in. And just, again, I've been there, right? So I just trying to reassure them that it's okay. It's okay to feel how you're feeling. Like, it's not like unusual to feel that way. I think everyone. I mean, I'm almost 26 now. Been in this for 8-9 years. Yeah, and I'm getting old. And when I'm sitting there on the sofa as a coach, I still get nervous. Probably more nervous than when I was a player.
Oh yeah.
So it doesn't go away, and you just got to like learn to like harness it and turn it more into an excitement rather than nerves. Yeah, I mean, Eric went out there and done his thing. So yeah, not worried about Eric in the slightest. I think he's going to be great. He's a great addition to the culture, what we're trying to build. And adding pieces to the puzzle that are going to be similar to Eric. And for us this year, it's all about, as I said, the good culture and the vibes, and making sure everybody is having fun, and we're a team. We're not individuals. We are a team. We do everything as a team. We win as a team. We lose as a team. We do everything as a team. That's what we're going to be this year.
So how do you, when you need to circumvent a problem or overcome a hurdle, and there's Slasher and there's Snoopy, what's the difference in approach? Is it kind of like, hey, Slasher, you should know better, you've been around? Do you even talk to Slasher? Like, he's a pretty self-aware guy. and then there's Snoopy. Do you say anything to him, or do you think he knows? Like, what's the difference in the approach there?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's going to depend on what the error or even the what the good play was, right? Because you want positive reinforcement as well as negative, right? You don't want it to just be one-sided. But yeah, I mean, someone like Slasher, I'm not going to tell Slasher, hey man, like, you need to rotate there, because he's just going to know. I'm going to say, Slasher, what should you have done? He goes, I should have rotated. He's just going to know, right? But someone like Eric, you might just want to explain why he should have done it. Why should Eric have rotated at the time? I don't have to explain to Slasher why he should have done it. He knows. That's what almost 10 years experience gives you. And that's just a difference. And that's something that Eric is going to have he's going to be propelled by the experience around him. Slasher gets to feed Eric all this knowledge that Slasher's gained, which a lot of people don't get. And Eric's the type of guy that is going to welcome that and take that all in. And the key thing for me this year is it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be a angry or negative response to mistakes. I'm not going to get angry at someone for not rotating or not doing something. I mean, if we've gone over it 5 or 6 times, I might be pretty annoyed. Because again, at that point, you haven't told me you don't understand. So you've not told me and you don't understand. So, but yeah, I mean, mistakes happen, and it's all about keeping the vibes good and making sure these guys enjoy being around each other. So, culture's key.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. So I guess, lastly, before we get into the crux and introduce the man himself, I guess, what is it about Snoopy's personality that we liked having around the team?
Yeah, I mean, as I said, he's just a happy guy. He's gonna laugh at my shit jokes. He's not gonna come in a bad mood. He might come in a little bit tired sometimes because he's been grinding, but he's not gonna come in and bring the vibes down. And he's the type of guy that's probably gonna come out and do everything that. If I say, hey, you want to go top golf, he's gonna come, and there's gonna be no pushback or no, I want to do this or that. It's like, he just wants to be around people, and yeah, I mean, he's a fun guy to have around, and again, he's only going to grow. So yeah, I mean, it's just what we've been missing over the last few years. I mean, we lost a lot in Zin. Zin was always that guy, and we took a big hit when Zin left. I say left, he retired and left us in the dust and left us for dead. But yeah, no, I mean, it's going to be nice to have that kind of personality around again. I mean, we had Beans. Beans was the exact same way. Just a fun guy to be around. But yeah, it's going to be a good year.
Yeah, I think with Eric and this new kind of bunch of fellas, it's kind of like he's going to come out of his shell as well. I think he's definitely when you first meet anyone, really, they're kind of reserved, kind of like they sit back, they observe, they see how much they can kind of push the boundary. And Eric with us, he's pretty trolly, he's pretty meme. He's got in his photo album, he sends me like the weirdest pictures I've ever seen. He's got about 1,000 different iterations of frogs. He watches Peaky Blinders, and he's got the Peaky Blinder guy on top of the Gangnam Style horse, or doing the whatever it is. So yeah, he's pretty easy to get along with, pretty chill. And he's also got the rap mindset where it's like, look, he wants to have fun. He likes winning and having fun. I mean, who doesn't, right? So I think that will really kind of coalesce with the guys, and just bring them tighter together, and they're all on the same kind of wavelength and on the same page. And I think that's what you really need in today's kind of game. And they all have kind of that winning mentality. I think they've all pretty much won. Obviously, Eric and Cap are quite young, so they will get there one day. But I think with the kind of we always say it, the pieces of the puzzle together, it's kind of the hope is to bring a couple of chips, some hardware back for Boston. But Eric's great, Snoop's great, and I can't wait for him to come into Boston in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, my dream has definitely been to be able to go up to the bosses and say, order a trophy cabinet because we need one. Because so far we don't have a trophy cabinet, and yeah, I definitely want one for them. I know how much hard work people put in behind the scenes. So yeah, the day I can walk up and ask for a cabinet is the day that I've succeeded for sure.
That would be nice. I know where it's going to go. It's going to go right next to my desk as well.
Yeah.
So I can just remind myself if ever we're in the trenches, I just look up. Yeah, that's
we did that. Yeah, we did.
All right. Well, let's cut to the chase. Let's bring the man, the myth, the legend himself, Eric, on board. All right, we're here with Eric, also known as Snoopy, the first actual CDL player to be signed for the 2024 season. How you feeling, Eric?
Feeling good. It's pretty good, you know, chilling. How about you, my boy Denz?
Yeah, just planning along. What are you getting up to? Well, what's the off season look for you? Like, what's your daily routine? How do you go about things?
Oh man. I mean, right now, I've been waking up a little bit late.
I
gotta fix my schedule. What? Yo,
sorry.
Chill out, Zach. But I mean, you know, just enjoying it. I do play sometimes. I like the old gods on console. Maybe some like trials and stuff. But you know, I've been just enjoying it, taking my time, spending it with my family. You know, just pretty chill.
I like that. It's gonna be like a long season. Sometimes you don't realize how long it actually goes for, and then by the time you know it's actually over. So it's like a long season, but a short season. It's always good to spend the time with the people you care about and love. So, you know, let's get straight into it. You've kind of already had a short stint at the professional level with being called up for COD champs, which is a pretty crazy feat. I don't think it's ever been kind of done before. What have you learned though from other competitions? Because I know you're a bit of a chess guru. You used to play football. What have you learned from those kind of industries, divisions, and competitions that you implement into like the Call of Duty kind of space?
Oh, I think my camera messed up. Well, I think the main thing that I learned from those competitions was that you always have to think that you're there to have fun, that you're there to enjoy, and to not let yourself like not let your mind get filled up with thoughts. Because if you keep overthinking it, you'll just not perform at your best. So I think I've been implementing just this mindset of having fun, of enjoying what I'm doing, and to not worry about the future. Just focus on what's in front of me and what I'm doing right now. So I'm pretty sure that's helped me a lot. That mindset.
Yeah, I think to Eric's point, you know, I try to tell all the players, you know, take in the moment. I think a lot of players try and take themselves out of it, and you know, whether like that's like to counter nerves and stuff. But you know, you can always look at nerves as more like excitement. You know, I think they go hand in hand. It's the same kind of feeling, right? It's just like, you know, it's how you look at things, and it goes by very fast. I mean, what was it? I was a pro for like 6 or 7 years, and flies by. Like before you know it, you're a coach. Yeah, so just be in the moment, enjoy the moment, take it all in because it's a pretty special time, and not many people get to do, you know, what you guys do. So it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, let me see. Let's see what we got for Eric. So Eric, like you know, you're coming in like obviously you came in for champs, right?
Yeah.
Me personally, and I think a lot of people, you weren't in really the talk for rookie because like rookie of the year because like it's just one event, right? I think this
Yeah.
year is going to be like technically your rookie year.
Mm.
So like there's a lot of hype around you. There's a lot of gas that you have the expectation to be the rookie of the year. Um, what are you? How are you going to handle that pressure? Like, what do you do that maybe people don't see and people don't know? To live up to that expectation.
You know, just oh yeah, that is a good point, Zach. Thank you. I mean, I just be like, honestly, I've been like watching all the stuff, reading all the stuff that people say about me, and yeah, there's a pressure, but at the same time, I know that I'm doing what I enjoy, what I like, and what was my like dream, like my whole life. That's why I gave up like my studies and I, you know, I'm leaving Mexico, like all of this, just to make my dreams come true. So obviously, a lot of people are gonna say like what, like a lot of stuff, but I'm just focused right now on being the best teammate I can be, and I know everything like will fall into place if I just keep doing my thing, keep like grinding daily, keep listening to you guys, and just being like the best player, like like trying my best every time, uh, learning about my mistakes, knowing how to like adapt to certain situations because I'm still like new to the scene. So I just want to learn from my teammates and from you guys as much as I can to apply it in my gameplay and also in my in my daily routine. But I think it's gonna be a good year.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anyone to learn by, I mean, you're teaming with Sasha now, so
Yeah.
I think he's done everything you can do as a professional. So
Mm.
you're pretty lucky in that aspect that you get to team with someone that's done it all. So, um, but it's a good mindset to have. I mean, a lot of players, um, they think maybe they're better than they are, and they don't listen to other people, and but to be open minded and everyone's no one's perfect, right? Like even sometimes I'm not everything I say is going to be 100% correct and perfect, but it's all like a learning experience, and you just gather information over time. So um, being able to do that together, I mean, you have 6 or 7 minds in one room. Um, everyone's going to be stronger and weaker at different points, right? So no, I like your mindset, Eric.
Mm.
I feel like a lot of people think when they're in your situation that they think they're Himothy. They think they're him, right?
Yeah,
And
but
you definitely got to have that like a little bit of delusional confidence. And for
yeah.
a few people that don't know, I know yourself, Eric. You're internally you are as confident as ever from the moment we picked you up. So I'm sure you have no
Yeah.
worries about that. But I guess it's like you mentioned, it's all about trusting the process and going through the day to day and working on yourself, working on the team, and it will definitely come to fruition. Um, I guess with that being said, your touter's kind of rookie of the year already. Like that, there's that pressure there. You also
Yeah.
get compared to someone else that became MVP and rookie of the year in their inaugural year, which was Shotzzy. From your movement, your communication. I know like Shotzi's communication in the early days was a little bit to be desired. You're quite soft spoken. Um,
Yeah.
I guess what separates you from like other players, and how are you gonna like tackle those weaknesses that are only natural for someone so new to the scene?
I mean, that's a good question. Um, I feel like definitely confidence, believing in myself, and the mindset of having like fun is what like mainly separates me from other players. I would say, um, because a lot of them just like um get to like they either like get to like thinking too much and that like affects them in game, and also like, for example, something goes wrong and they're like, oh no, I might not be as good as I thought I was. But you just have to like believe in yourself, believe in what you do every day, believe in why you like scream 2 times a day or 3 times a day, believe in the process that you've been going through to like become the player you are now. Just so you have that confidence. And yeah, I definitely think that I have some weaknesses, especially because I'm so new and I've only played one tournament, but I think I've identified them. Um, and I mean, I've been working on them this off season too. Like for example, the communication thing. I've been working on it, and I think that if I just keep going, keep like identifying and knowing what I'm doing wrong or what I could do better from watching other people, other players, other my teammates, like other players that are more experienced than me, I think I'll be good. I just I just have to keep going because it's all part of the process, as you said.
Yeah, I mean to be 18 and already working on your weaknesses is you're definitely ahead of the curve. I mean, I remember when I was 18, I was the most delusional man on the planet. I didn't think I had any weaknesses. I was and I didn't learn that until I was about 21 or 22. So it did take me a little bit. So for you to do that at 18, I mean, yeah, like I said, like no one's perfect, and all you can do is practice every day, like 1% better every day. And that's what we're here for, right? To help you. So, um, yeah, I mean, you're already my rookie of the year, so you should put it into put it into
I'm about to
motion.
cry, buddy.
You want to do the next one, Zach?
Yeah. So Eric, as as we know, and as you know, I mean, a lot of people don't know, but your your mum is a huge influence on your career, right, and your life.
Yeah.
Like, what does she mean to you for your career aspect, and like, how does she help you? Um, because I think a great support system is so like key in all of this.
Yeah.
I know players that have had no support, and it does beat down on them. So, um, how does that affect you, and how does that keep you going and keep you strong?
Um. Well, I think, as you said, having a great support system is key to be successful. And I feel like with my mom, she's like the person that I trust the most in this world. And she's like the first one that I would say, like, something that's happening to me or a problem or something. Even though, sometimes I don't be like talking a lot, but she's like my go-to to everything. So, just knowing that she's there for me, that no matter what happens, you know, she will have my back. She will, just keep supporting me, even if like whatever like the worst case scenario happens or the best case scenario happens. Like I just know I can go to her, and I really value that a lot because that's that's part of my daily motivation. That's part of what keeps. That's part of why I did this in the first place too. Because I really, wanted to help her, wanted to help my family. So, it really means like everything to me. And, it was a little bit tough at the beginning because she didn't really know about this scene. It's not that common in Mexico. Uh, like a guy, like an 18-year-old kid wanting to like go pro in another country. It's not like add video games in another country. It's not very common. So, you know, I had to explain to her, but she's been learning, and I'm really happy for what me and her have built, uh, and how like all these changes, have helped our relationship become closer. So you know, I'm really happy for what we've been doing. Mhm.
Is there Eric, is when you
Yeah.
first started playing, right, and you're like, hey, mum, I want to go and twiddle my thumbs on the controller and fly to these events. Was there like a prove it concept that you needed? Like, did you have like, because you're quite smart. Yeah, you could have been changing my heart out at the age of 50. What is it? What was the prove it concept? Was it like a year? Like, what was it that you had to kind of? Did you have to prove it to your mom? Was it like, hey, let's see what happens in a year and then go from there? What was the kind of intro to get your mom across the line?
Yeah, definitely. This is something that I like wanted to actually like pursue since probably 2 years ago. And I wasn't 18, so I couldn't do it. She knew I played like some S&D tournaments, and like I won money from them and stuff. Because I bought my own PC, my own monitor, so I kind of like showed her what I could do with this. And then when I turned 18, I wanted to like start going to events, and I was still in school. I was in second semester, and but I'm pretty sure Boston was coming up, or yeah, I think it was Boston. So I told her that, and then I had like a thing at school too that was the same weekend. So and it was like a very important thing. It was like a very important assignment. I think it was like 40% of my grade, of my final grade, and they couldn't change it because they said it like 2 months in advance. But I just told her that I really wanted to do this, and that I believed that I could, you know, um, actually achieve my dreams, which was like going pro. And to give me just 1 year, if it didn't go good, I would just stop doing like playing video games at all, or maybe just a little bit, but not competing obviously every day, because even though I got to school at like 7 and then got home at like 5, I still play till like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. because that's like my schedule. That's the time that I had to play. Um, so I still like played every day while going to school, while having to wake up at 6 a.m. Like it was a really bad schedule. But I just told her that if she would like just give me 1 year, I would, really appreciate that. And well, it ended up working out, and now, you know, now it's time to work even harder. So yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, it sounds very similar to mine. I mean, my mum didn't let me. I was working full time, and she said if the moment you get paid you sign a contract and like get paid a salary, you can quit your job. And I think the day I signed it, I quit my job and I was making about £400 a month. It was about half of what I was making in my job. So, but yeah, she stuck to her word, and yeah, I think explaining to the parents,
Yeah.
you know, what this is definitely a conversation.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, when they support you, it's the best feeling in the world, and you can, especially when it goes right and it goes well, and you can look back on, the chance they took on you, and you can support them in the future, which is great.
Yeah.
So Eric, now some of the rosters have been rumored. Some confirmed. Who are you most looking forward to playing?
Oh my. Well, definitely. I think Face. I want my revenge on Face. And
Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
we were close
yeah,
there.
we were. No, but I'll cry again. No, I'm kidding. But I mean, yeah, I think Face has a pretty good team, and I would really want to, play them a lot of times. So probably Face and well, Optic too. I feel like those two teams are who I'm looking forward to playing the most.
Yeah, I feel like
Mm-hmm.
when you play the best teams like
Yeah.
frequently, it definitely like elevates your game. Um, you can't get away with some of the stuff that you maybe can towards the bottom of the league. So it really does. it tests the discipline for sure.
Yeah.
You know, as long as you're flowing with confidence. One thing I always fucked up on was not being as confident. You know, maybe playing a little bit different.
Yeah.
And that would definitely cost me in the long run. I should have just been flying at Simple and Easy. That would have been fucked.
Yeah, it's a lose-lose there, so.
Yeah,
Why
it
is
is.
it easy? They put you down. You're like, okay, I'm just gonna pre-aim. They mid-sprint you. You're like,
Yeah, it's losing. They're just good, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, again, I'm excited to play all the top teams. You know,
Yeah.
not. I want to be. I want us to be considered one of the best teams in the world. You know, on a regular basis. I don't want it to be a. You know, I don't want people to look back and be like, "Oh, Boston got third at the major. That's a fluke." I want it to be like, you know, Boston are a top 3 team. You know, they can push for a major win any given Sunday. So,
Yeah.
I'm glad you want to play the best teams in the world because so do I.
And honestly, if we're playing FaZe, knowing that their last 4 years they've been in the top 3 like every tournament, that means we're
in winners final, baby. Come on.
we're right there, right? Last question before we kind of dive into the fan questions for yourself, Eric. You know, in your come up, you know, you turned 18, you did respawn for 6 months. You know, you've got a great mindset. You have kind of the results to kind of back it, which is why you got the call up. You've definitely got a proof is in the pudding kind of approach. You know, you let your actions do the talking. This is a 2-pronged question. What is the advice you have for every challenger player out there and aspiring players? And off that, who is next up? Who deserves a shot at the big leagues in the CDL, like yourself?
Alright. Alright, let me think for a sec.
Yeah.
An advice for challenge. I mean, all I can say is, you know, you have to keep putting in the work every day, even if it feels like, you know, you're like not making progress or like you're stuck in the same place. Uh, Trust me that every single thing that you do, every single, you know, every single time you look at something you did wrong or you practice, you learn something new. So even if you think that you're not making progress, you are. Just, you know, keep putting in the work daily. Um, you know, watch other people that are maybe more experienced. Um, Work on your mindset. Work on, you know, the aspects outside of it of just gaming. Don't get too stuck, like, you know, playing, you know, 10 hours a day and then just not like forgetting about like your health, your body, your mind, because I think that really comes into play. Um, you know, when you're in the actual match. So I feel like just working on yourself in every aspect, like outside the game, could help too. But yeah, I mean, just keep putting in the work daily. Keep like asking, you know, just ask questions. Ask everything you want to know to other players, or yeah, just you know, just keep grinding and don't get yourself like too like you know, don't forget about other stuff too because they're important. So yeah. And the other question was who I think is next up. That was the other question.
Yeah.
Um.
Next up, who deserves a shot at the big leagues?
Oh my god.
Ooh.
I don't know. I mean,
Eric, pick me.
I think Zach would be that. I mean, I think all the teammates I played with are really good. I learned a lot from the academy boys, but maybe like excluding them, like to say on
Yeah.
other players. I think all of them like in the academy do though. But mm,
Who was
I
when you were playing in challenges? Like, who was the toughest gunny? Who always had your number? Was there anyone?
don't want to have
Uh,
no, yeah, some of them.
Anyway.
Um, I mean, I think. Let me think. I mean, I think God X was pretty good. Uh, think about the subs. I mean, I think Neptune really was really good. Also, let me think. From the last tournament that we played, we lost to the Wobble Buffs. So, you know,
I
their
think
subs were pretty. Yeah,
they've definitely all been picked up, right?
yeah, I think so. So, I mean, those
Half
subs
of
too,
them.
because they did
Yeah.
beat us twice. They beat us twice, 3-1, 3-1, I think, or 3-0. But we still should have won that series. But I think them are are pretty good.
To Eric's point on asking questions, like I love it when players ask questions. I mean, the worst thing you can
Mm,
do, I think, as a player is like not fully understand what someone's saying to you, but just
yeah.
pretend like you know. Because there's nothing wrong with not understanding. Like if I was to tell you to do something and you don't understand it, just say something. Like it's okay. Like there's nothing wrong with that. I asked my wife some of the most basic shit. How do I turn the washing machine on? Like, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Like, it's right better than just not doing it, right? Um,
It is.
so I'm glad you said that, and that is a great piece of advice for everybody. Just ask questions.
Yeah.
If you're curious and you want to know more, fucking ask. I can't read your mind, so
Yeah.
yeah, it's good quote.
Yeah, there's no stupid questions in COD because once again, if you think 2 + 2 is 5 and you're like, I'm not getting why it's 4, then it's just you're not progressing, you're not moving forward. There's a lot of things that you kind of can't help. Um,
Yeah.
let's jump into the fan questions, Eric. You had a little bit of a turnout for yourselves. Um,
Yeah.
we'll start with the first question, and then Zach, you can pivot on the second. When you got the call to come up to Boston for champs, how did you mentally prepare yourself for the tournament?
Mm, I mean, it was like a really big thing because it's the biggest tournament of the year. Um, I knew it was a possibility, but at the moment I wasn't really expecting it. So, I just, as I said before, I just knew that I was going to have fun and, to do my best, do like everything I can to perform, uh, to the maximum level, to the best level. And my mindset was just have fun, enjoy this time, stay in the moment, and just do your thing because you know how to play COD. You play this every day. This is what you wanted to do. This is what you like put in the work for, and yeah, just like my mind was just like thinking that I was there because I was meant to be there, and because I was there to have fun. So that really helped me, and I mean I feel like that really helps me every time I play, you know, every time I'm in a match or before we start a match. Because against Optic, it was the first match ever, so that's what like my mindset was. Just be there to have fun. Um, you know, we didn't end up winning, but you know, we'll we'll get our revenge next season.
We had a good time though, huh?
Yeah, we had a good
Yeah,
time. We did,
we had
we
a good
did, we
time.
did.
We didn't gamble, no gambling. We had a good time.
No, no, that's a damn.
Um, quick fan question from Hector, esports Hector, Eric.
Mhm.
Um, what are some things you do outside of gaming to help with your overall performance on like a
Something
day-to-day
I
basis?
do. Well, I think every day I usually just run, just go outside and go for a walk or run. At night sometimes. Well, around 7, 8 because late night is kind of scary.
Yeah, yeah. You sent me a
uh,
picture. It's like pitch black outside. I was like,
yeah, no, no, no. Maximum 9, I would say. But I feel like that really just, you know, helps me, uh, just reflect, think about what's bothering me, and like it just gives me like time to stop for a second because sometimes we're just too, we're going too fast. We don't take a moment to think about what we have in front of us, what's going on in our lives. So I think just going for a run every day or a walk, you know.
It's very inspirational, Eric. In my
Yeah.
feelings right now with the mindset.
Yeah, I mean, I've been going to the gym like 6 days a week now, and I can tell you, getting in that gym every day is so nice.
Yeah.
Just nobody bothers you. Yeah, you're in your own, like, you just get to think. I mean, me personally, I don't really think too much. I just kind of sit there. But there is times where I'm like, okay, like this is nice and refreshing.
Yeah.
For an hour and a half, all your responsibilities just kind of disappear. So we'll definitely be working out in Boston, Eric.
Yeah,
The whole team.
I got the gym membership here, but I only went there for a week, so I have to get back in the grind.
Oh.
But I'm still like running every day though.
Okay.
But
yeah, we'll
Also-
get a nice schedule in Boston.
yeah. Also, reading helps you out a lot. I started reading this book. I have it in the other room. But it's like the keys for a successful life or something like that. But it's really it's really cool because it kind of like explains the path to success from another point of view and like his experiences. So I think reading is a good thing too for for your mind.
Yeah, it's all about stimulating your brain.
Yeah,
I like that.
I've got a book about building habits or like getting rid of habits. It's an orange book. I'll definitely give it to you, Eric. So the habit is like, if you do like Zach said earlier, 1% every day, it builds up. It starts accumulating, and if you add yourself by 1%,
I feel like you can do that with literally any task, any hobby on the planet. So if you do it every day and you get 1% better, like eventually you're gonna be at your
you're gonna be messy.
Yeah, exactly. The compound effect.
I don't know if anyone can, I don't know if anybody can be messy, but
Messy to go.
you'll definitely get your personal peak of where you'll get.
Yeah, but I think the book's called Compound Effect because of everything, like every little thing ends up like doing a lot of progress.
Yeah, I mean that's like you take that advice of like investing your money and stuff, right? It's all like all compounds over time. No, but it's good. I mean, again, like I said, great mindset to have, and I think clearing your head on runs and reading a lot is definitely helpful. So you're doing it at 18, so you're definitely, like I said, definitely ahead of the curve. But that's pretty much it. I'll let you go after that, Eric. Thank you for coming on the show. Another player down. I think we've got one more player to go. Is it just Sasha next?
Yeah. Well, we might be doing a little teaser, a little live.
What was that, Eric? Show that again. Let me see that.
What was that?
I think it was a Boston Breach stuff. Oh yeah, Boston Breach. That's a cool. That's honestly anyone that uses that controller, that's +5 assist.
Yeah.
Undisclosed. Yeah. Thank you for coming on, Eric. Thank you to the fans for asking Eric's questions. Hopefully you guys got to know Eric a little bit better between this and the our other show. But yeah, thank you for your time, Eric. I know.
Thank you for having me.
I know you're sleeping pattern right now. You're probably going to be going to bed in about an hour. Hopefully you have
the
5
schedule.
guys.
I'm fixing the schedule.
No 5 guys before wages. Yeah.
No, we don't have it here, so we don't have it.
Yeah. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the fans for asking questions, and that'll do it for our Snoopy segment.
Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me.
Okay, and that does our segment with Eric Snoopy. Thank you again to all the fans that send in some questions. It's always good to see what people want to ask Eric, and of course, thank you to Eric for coming on. I mean, that pretty much does it for episode 4. Again, not a tremendous amount to touch on. It was great to hear from Eric. But I think our episode 5 is going to be probably our best one yet. It's looking like we're probably going to be in Boston, probably live with the entire roster, including myself, the star of the show. So yeah, really excited to get that and, kind of get just an insight into what they think of each other. I mean, let's be honest, right? I mean, I'll tell them what I think of them. So yeah, it's going to be a really good episode and, hopefully something that people can look forward to. But yeah, I mean, details to come for that. And yeah, I mean, thank you for everybody for watching, of course. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll be in the comments talking shit as usual. But yeah, thank you to everybody. And yeah, stay safe out there.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye. Bye.